Well, there was a lot going on with all that, whatever that was, and having trouble to even categorize it. So, okay, so this video I'm gonna try to mainly summarize, although I don't think I can hold back from editorializing. And the other videos will be more, I don't know, my own personal feelings, what there are of them. But I will just get out of the way. My main reaction was kind of disgusted. Thought the whole thing was really poor taste. Um, yeah, that's the basic gist. I'll delve into details there. So let me just try to summarize the back and forth. And so excuse the rambling. It's not going to be really temporal, chronological. It's like, oh, this happened, this happened. This is just my scattering of what happened, and you make of it what you will. So some of the highlights. Jenna said that therapy doesn't work, and who cares? Anyway, some people do therapy, not go anywhere. Some people can do a lot of therapy, they don't really progress. Some people do less therapy, but they do very well. Yeah, thanks, Jenna. We kind of knew that, but thank you anyway. And Aaron was very weirdly situated. Like one thing I noticed is that they were really closely together. I mean, physically, like he was touching her. It wasn't right threatening. It was just kept touching her over and over again. And I'm thinking to myself, and this is again, I'm going to hold back on editorializing. I'm like, I was holding out slim hope it wasn't going to even be true because Aaron lies a lot because they're doing it, and it's like, really, you're physically present next to a man you accused of. It was really really quite shocking. So a lot of it is like, oh, Jenna, we didn't have normal childhood, and Jenna's like, right, right. That's what it felt like. It's obviously I don't think it was like totally scripted, but it just seemed that they had points that they were going to reach. They got to those points, and the conversation, such as was it, ended. I did not see the very very beginning. I think I'm trying to think. It's like I got into it when it was like 11 minutes in, and I did try to. I tried listening to most of it, but it was frankly very horrifying after a while. So I was like, yeah, you can only take so much. So, Aaron, well, so Jenna was trying to say, well, listen, I'm not perfect. There's a person I want to be in the future. Therefore, I'm going to try to be that person in the future. And she admitted that it's hard. It's hard, guys, because the things on Reddit, which I know are not true, do get to me. And that becomes a problem. And Aaron was nodding a lot. A lot of people were saying that Aaron was dominating the conversation. I didn't really sense that. It just felt like a kind of a tennis match, just bouncing the ball back and forth, back and forth. And some things were really, really grotesque. So, for those who don't know, Dallas is Jenna's ex-husband. Oh, this is what I wanted to get with Aaron. So, Aaron is still maintaining this weird fiction, saying, "Guys, we're separated. Me and my wife are separated." Okay, let me make this clear. As far as we know, in terms of legal paperwork, Aaron and his wife are not separated. If they are separated, apparently he's keeping those documents hidden. So, as of this recording, as far as I know, they are still legally married, right? Now, with Dallas and Jenna, as far as I know, yes, they are divorced. They are really genuinely separated. And Jenna let it be known that, oh, she would get into fights with Dallas, but Dallas wouldn't care, and they're just laughing. Okay, right, right. So Aaron said, well, one of the reasons that it worked with Heather for a while is because of her whatever attitude, but it came to a close, so on and so forth. You're right. Now about that. So he was married for what? Faithfully, I guess. Well, even that's in question for X number of years, but he decided to move on, as did Jenna. In fact, there was also a weird part where Jenna said, "Oh, see, the thing is, Dallas knew me since I was a baby. And then she said, oh, what I meant was he knew me since I was 18. Okay? So somehow 18 years, she just forgot about them. So, yeah, this was a very weird, weird thing. And it just seemed that they're trying to convince, and again, this was meant for their quote, I don't what do you want to call it, hardcore audience, for their hardcore audience that things are fine. Don't you agree? Yes, I agree. Things are fine. It's a challenge, but things are fine. Yes, they are. They are fine. Uh, and I will say this, despite it being a serious topic, although again, I'm not trying to editorialize here, but everything just felt really flimsy. It felt really flimsy. So near the end of the conversation, uh, it looked like Aaron was about to cry. Now, for those who don't know, Aaron has a very notorious fake cry style. He didn't do it all the way, but he was getting very red in the face. He said, "Oh, I'm about to cry again," but he held back. He says, "Oh no, I can't do it, Jenna. I need to order the pizza," because he did a protest, and I put protest in quotation marks. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, it was also really windy. I caught a little bit of their protest. It was a little bizarre. There was apparently a lot of wind in the part of Florida that they are. Right, and as far as I know, Jenna was not even at the protest. So, yeah, I mean, whatever. Apparently, she just flew in to do this interview and then was going to leave and go back home. I don't even know where to begin. I guess I want to summarize what this was. It's just two highly narcissistic, like very Hollywood celebrities. And I want to emphasize minor celebrities. We're not talking like major. We're not talking Jim Carrey. We're not talking Tom Cruise. We're not talking Hugh Jackman. We're not talking Blake Lively. But it is an amazing coincidence that Blake Lively is having her back and forth with Justin, and Ryan is getting involved in that bizarre lawsuit or whatever. It's like, but I do find it fascinating because, again, I like Blake Lively, but it's being kind of shown pretty well that she's lying, at least in some of her statements and some of her allegations. Just complete lies. Like, that didn't happen, or you radically misrepresented the context. And whether you get into that stuff or not, it's like, okay, all right, there we are. And that's what this is. It's sort of like, okay, well, if you get into this thing, you will be tracking the back and forth of these minor celebrities. And that's about it. If you're into this thing about minor celebrities going back and forth, you're into that thing. What is pretty alarming is the Scientology, anti Scientology background. And it is really in the background. It just seems that these two people, and again, I should make clear, yes, Jenna is technically a victim, but after this, I mean, her credibility is just, she has almost zero credibility. I mean, she didn't have much credibility even a few months ago, but I did actually hold out the slim, and I do emphasize slim, hope that maybe she was gonna try to be not as bad as Aaron, but with this video, it is like, huh, huh. But and I've already done a ton of videos on her videos and taking away the videos, making them private or destroyed or whatever. In the first video, she states pretty emphatically she was going to leave the first video up so she would not return to him. But I didn't even find that the most offensive. I honestly, all throughout, I'm thinking, you put up a post saying, I'm going to take a vacation for a whole month. Okay, so this is part of the vacation, or what do you mean by vacation? It's saying, oh, I'm not going to comment at all, but then you do this. I don't even know where to begin. It just seems that, and again, I want to stress with both of them, but clearly Aaron is far worse. The amount of pathological lying that both do is beyond a certain point just tiresome. It's just tiresome. It's like almost every single statement they make is a lie, or to put it mildly, skews the truth so much that it's kind of like, well, you didn't really say anything. But that's it. They occasionally tell the truth if it's in their self interest, and you're like, okay. congratulations. But and again, these are not real mathematical formulas, but I would say, respectively, like 90% versus 80% of the time, you're never going to get the truth with Aaron and Jenna. So I guess Aaron remains much more evil by many leagues, but at the end of the day, we're just dealing with two celebrities who are pathological liars, and they're just whining and moaning back and forth. And it just felt like, what are we getting from this? Because again, this is mainly a summation, but I mean, this is basically the gist of the whole conversation. Like, hey, we're healing. Yes, yes, we are. We're talking, and in the talking, we heal. Yes, yes, we do, Aaron. And, it's been really rough. Oh, yes, Aaron, it's been rough. We've been both misunderstood. It is. We are misunderstood. It is very, very rough for us. And now I will editorialize. No, no. You know what's rough? You know what's rough when dealing with this topic of Scientology, anti-Scientology? Scientology kills people. Okay? In some severe cases, Scientology murders people. Now, it's YouTube, I'd say allegedly. It allegedly murders, but in my heart of hearts, no, it does kill people in several incredible cases. Those people have it rough because they're dead. They're dead. It's tough because they're dead. They were murdered by a fascist cult. What Jenna and Aaron go through is not tough at all. It's not tough. And I hate to be the narcissistic one. For those who don't know, and I will post some pictures and a video here to prove. Yes, I suffered a major leg injury a couple months ago. That's tough. That's tough. So you can't force anyone to change their perspective. Either their perspective will change or it will not change. But I'm like, the nicest thing you can say, and again, trying to be as neutral as possible, is that neither one of them seems to have a perspective. They are just so in their own little weird fantasy land that what they're saying appears normal to them and, well, their cult followers. But to everyone else, it'd be like, yeah, it just seems like you're both deeply disturbed and you're hurting a lot of people, and you will continue to hurt a lot of people until it stops. Now, I've maintained for a while, probably the nicest thing we can do with Aaron is just put him in a mental hospital, uh, feed him baby food and put him in a big room in a small corner, and then just whatever, check in on him every now and then to change his diapers. That's about it. With Jenna, I just don't know what would be the right punishment, but she's not really an innocent victim in any real sense, but she's not as bad as Aaron. However, this video really puts her, well, no nice way of putting it, on the side of evil with a capital E. Maybe she will get better. Maybe she will not get better. I just don't care anymore. I'm going to keep tracking her. And listen, I was going to, because I'm just overwhelmed, I was going to give her content an actual chance. And I still will. But before I was going to try to be with some sympathy. Now it's just purely gathering information. It's just, I don't know. We're just dealing with two very, very dangerous people, because when you get pathological lying at this level, those people are dangerous. Now, Aaron may hurt some people in reality, so yeah, he's way more dangerous, but why would anyone ever trust Jenna with anything? Why? Why? I mean, she's radically reversed herself like 4 or 5 times in the space of 2 months. And yes, you're a victim, but again, one of your last public statements was, I'm going to take a vacation. And then you just do basically and essentially a business trip. And I'm also really, I don't know. I am offended even at the more basic level. It's like, well, who's paying for that trip? Is the foundation paying for that trip? It's just, yeah, the whole thing is just, it just reeks of two very selfish, corrupt people just touching one another saying, oh my God, you're doing better. Yes, I'm doing better too. You're doing better too. Yes, we're both doing better. And we'll get more into the details. But on a final note, did they refer to Nora or attack Nora directly? Well, no, not the parts I saw, but they definitely alluded to her. They definitely alluded to Nora several times, and it was clearly very negative. And again, I don't like Nora. On record, I'm not a Nora fan, but it felt really grotesque that Jenna was smiling that Nora bad, but Dianetta Nutcase, she's good. And that's the warped reality they're living in, where the only bad person now is apparently two people, just David Miscavige and Nora. Those are the only two bad people. Everyone else is healing, guys. Everyone else is healing and good, and we're taking the power back. Yeah, Aaron used that full feminist ideological position. Guys, we're taking the power back. We're taking it back. Okay, but where are we going to? I don't know. In some weird la la land of complete insanity, apparently, in my humble opinion.